Hey y'all, I'm Hamilton, founder and lead NFT boy of HAMY Labs. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your first NFT. Now before we start, it's useful to understand a little bit about what NFTs are because, well, we're going to be creating one. This will help give us some context for why we have to create certain parts in order to actually create our NFT. Now for this video, it's efficient to know that NFTs are kind of like trading cards. So trading cards are kind of like you have these types of trading cards. Let's say we have a Mewtwo, we have a Pikachu, we have a Bulbasaur. We know that there's certain different counts of each of these cards that are created, and NFTs are very much like this. So we can think of a card type, like a Mewtwo, is just a specific NFT. So you can create an NFT. But there might be many of these NFTs out there. So there might be many Mewtwo's, there might be many Pikachus, etc. Attached to every NFT, there might be some media. In this case, it might be a picture of Mewtwo. In our case, it might be a video or some audio. And we can also attach just arbitrary metadata to our NFT. So this could be text, it could be some properties. Maybe you want it to be like an attack here with some kind of cost associated. Whatever it is, you can usually just attach text to an NFT. And finally, when you're creating an NFT, when you're actually minting it, you can say how many NFTs you want to actually create of that type. And that's what an NFT is in a nutshell. Now, obviously, for NFTs to actually be useful, they actually have to be somewhere so that they can interact and stuff. And where those NFTs will end up is the blockchain. Now, we don't need to go into blockchain at all right now, but just note that the way that NFTs work is you create these cards, if you will, with all this attached metadata, and then you put it on the blockchain, and that's how you interact with it. Now, that's all you need to know for this video. But if you're interested in learning more about what NFTs are and how they work with the blockchain, I have another video that goes into that a lot more deeply and continues this metaphor of NFTs as a trading card. I'll have a link to that in the description if you want to know more. All right, on to creating your first NFT. So where do we actually create this NFT? Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can create an NFT and a lot of different places that you can do so. My recommendation, and what we'll be doing in this video, is creating it on Opensea. Now, Opensea is a world-leading NFT marketplace that moves billions of dollars in volume every single month. I like this method for NFT creation because it's easy and reliable, it's totally free, and then there's, of course, the upside that you're creating this and making it super accessible within a leading NFT marketplace, and thus there's some upside if you decide you want to trade it or sell it or anything like that. All of these are reasons why I create and sell my own NFTs directly on Opensea, and that's why I think I'm in a good position to recommend this for you as well. All right, so to get started, head over to Opensea at opensea.io and get logged in. Now, in order to go further, we need to actually go ahead and create a wallet. Now, for those of you that are new to Web3 or blockchain or anything, a wallet is kind of like an email address. People in sites can send your wallet address things, and then you can also send stuff from your wallet, kind of like an email address. As an aside, this is kind of how you are able to send and receive NFTs. Now, another thing that wallets allow you to do, and that is a cornerstone of Web3, is they allow you to log into sites. They say that I am the person that owns this wallet, and therefore you can sign me in and do stuff as me. So when you log into a site with a wallet, it's going to send your wallet a request basically saying, hey, do you want to sign in? And then you can accept that request in order to actually log into the site, or you can decline it in order to stay logged out. So this is why we need a wallet for Opensea, because this is how you're actually going to log in and how you're actually going to do things like create NFTs, send NFTs, stuff like that. Opensea integrates with a lot of different wallets. So we can see MetaMask, Coinbase, Wallet Connect, Fortmatic, and there's a whole bunch below here. So if you already have a wallet, go ahead and log into one of those that Opensea integrates with, and we can move on. Now, if you don't have a wallet, go ahead and create one. It'll only take you 1 to 2 minutes, but I'm not going to walk through how to go through every single different wallet because it's just too much for this video. But if you need a recommendation, I recommend either MetaMask or Coinbase Wallet. Both of these I use myself. And think they're really easy and reliable, so I would recommend them to you as well. Once you have your wallet, go ahead and log in, and we can continue creating your NFT. I'm going to go ahead and log in with MetaMask because that's the one that I'm currently logged in as, and we can see that it logged in because I already have my MetaMask wallet logged into, and I have HAMY.art here. Great. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is create a collection. Now, a collection isn't a universal thing, but a lot of NFT marketplaces do have collections. you can kind of think of this as a folder. So it's a good way to organize the NFTs that you're creating, and it's also an easy way to update some settings that maybe will apply to many different NFTs. Note that a lot of NFTs you can't update after you create them, and so collections are a good way to, say, have settings that can change after the fact. We'll go through what some of these settings are as we create it. So to go create a collection, just hover over your profile right here, go to My Collections, and then you'll end up on this page. You can see that I already have some collections, and click on this Create a Collection button. So when you get here, it might send you a signature request. That's totally cool. Just go ahead and sign that, and that's basically the website asking you for permission to do something. All right, so the first thing that we have to do is create a logo image. We can see that it's required here, so go ahead and select this and find an image that you want to use. I'm going to gray out my file directory so you can't snoop on all my files, but I'm going to go ahead and set it to my logo. Great, here's my logo. This will be the logo image for my collection, and let's go. Okay, so the next required thing we need to do is create a name. So this will just be a name for your collection. Remember, it's kind of a folder, so whatever you want to name this. You can totally delete this later, so it doesn't really matter what the name is, but you just need one for creation. I'm going to go ahead and set this to HAMY Labs because I think maybe I'll use this for a lot of my HAMY Labs kind of NFTs. And you can set a URL. I'd recommend doing this because otherwise you might get something just like random, and I think readable URLs are really nice for people. So let's skip description and maybe category here, as well as URLs. These are all pretty self-explanatory, and go down to royalties. So NFTs are pretty cool in that you can set royalties on them to basically get kickbacks every time an NFT that you create is sold. So it's kind of like a fee on anyone else that decides to resell your things. You can get a percentage of that sale. You can set this to whatever you want to set it to. Personally, I like setting around 10% because I think it's large enough for it to actually matter. And then when you decide to set royalties, you're going to need to add a wallet address, which is, again, one of the wallets that you want to actually get payouts to. This is when something is sold, some fees are paid out. This is actually where they'll send those fees to. So to get my wallet address, I'm just going to go to my wallet here. I can get my address right here and just going to copy it out right here. And this says, hey, when you have payouts for me, this is where I want you to send them. The next is blockchain. So when you create an NFT, it has to live on the blockchain somewhere. That's how it actually goes from just being an idea to like, oh, this thing actually exists in the world. Now each blockchain, is a little bit different and might have some different attributes, like ways it actually goes about creating NFTs, different abilities that it might give you NFTs and stuff. But in general, most blockchains are about the same for basic NFTs. Now with Opensea, there are some preferences for certain blockchains versus others. For instance, Ethereum doesn't let you do everything that Polygon does because it's so expensive. So when you're choosing blockchain, I would highly recommend, instead of Ethereum, choosing Polygon. And this will give you a few benefits. One is that it's going to be a lot faster and a lot cheaper. This is because it's way more scalable than Ethereum. And so this is what's going to allow us to create our NFT for free, as opposed to having to pay some amount of crypto coins in order to pay for gas. Aside from it being fast and free, this is also way, way, way better for the environment. So Polygon is about 40,000 times more energy efficient than Ethereum. So if you don't want to be driving, the gas hog, the big Hummer, that's eating up the environment, please choose Polygon. It's better for you and it's better for the earth. Okay, moving on. You can add payment tokens, which basically just says other tokens that you'll allow yourself to take. You can probably forget about that for now. Choose a display theme, and then finally let's just click create. And ta-da! We have a collection. Now we don't have any items yet, but now we can go on to add some items, some NFTs into our collection. Okay, so we're output to our new collection, and let's go ahead and create an NFT. So let's first select add item, and then the first thing that is required here is to add a piece of media. Now, not all NFTs actually need this, but for Opensea, they specialize in things that are attached to, or that do have media attached. So go ahead and add something. It can be any picture or video and stuff that you want. I'm going to go ahead and add one of my HAMY modes that I use for a lot of my YouTube cover photos because I think it's going to be funny and I want this to exist in the world. I'm going to choose one of my favorite ones, which is Coffee Ham, and it's just me holding coffee. So I'm going to go down to name, which is another required field. And remember, this is how you're actually naming your NFT. Like, if it's a Mewtwo, it's a Pikachu. Well, this is a coffee ham. So I'm going to add that. Then I might as well just add an external link. So I'm just going to add a link to my website, HAMY.xyz. I'm going to skip the description section. This is the collection that I'm going to create it in. So I wanted to create it in that HAMY Labs thing here. And then you can add like properties, levels, and stats and stuff. I'm not going to go into this. I'll just do it for the video, but these are some pretty cool things that just add structured metadata to your NFT. If you wanted to use it for like unlocking stuff or games or all sorts of different things you can do with NFTs. We're going to go down to supply. Now note that if we went to Ethereum, we can't change the number of NFTs that we're creating. And this is one of those reasons why I'm saying you should not be creating things on Ethereum right now. You should be creating on a Polygon. So let's use Polygon, and then I'm going to create 100 of these bad boys because, Coffee Ham deserves to be out there in high number. So we've got it, and let's now click Create. When you click Create, Opensea is going to be doing some stuff behind the scenes. This is why you might see a loading thing. It's going to actually be interacting with the blockchain, saying that it wants to create them, and stuff like that. And once it finishes, it's interacted with the blockchain and stuff. It'll come back, and it'll say, hey, you made it. Now, if you choose Ethereum, or another blockchain that Opensea doesn't do for free, it will probably pop up a wallet request for you to actually pay for that. But since we chose Polygon, which Opensea allows us to make NFTs on for free, we don't have to deal with that step. It just automatically goes ahead and creates it. So here's my NFT. We can see that it's here. We can see that there's 100 of them. It's owned by me. And if you added extra details and stuff, you can kind of see like all of that stuff down here. And that's it. You now have an NFT to do with as you please. So you could put it up for sale if you wanted. Maybe you have some friends that you want to send it to. You can do that by sending it to their wallet address. If you don't like this NFT and we're just kind of testing it out, you can also go ahead and burn it or delete it. And then go ahead and create the one that you actually wanted to make. Now you may have been wondering why I decided to create 100 of these NFTs. Well, aside it from being super cool, and I thought there should be 100 that existed in the world, I also thought it'd be fun to send some of them to y'all. So comment below with your wallet's address if you'd like me to send one of them, and I'll start sending them out as soon as I can. If you want to learn more about NFTs, like what they are and how they actually interact with the blockchain, I did just create a video about that, which goes through the whole metaphor of NFTs as trading cards and explains it in a lot more detail. I'll have a link to that in the description below. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions about NFTs or working with Opensea or anything like that, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. HAMY.io.